This is the first of a three-part exploration of Unsworth Vineyards. The winery is located inside the new Cowichan Valley sub-GI along the southeast coast of Vancouver Island. As we uncover the story behind the unique conditions that make the wine so special, we'll discover the valley's laid-back lifestyle, wild beauty, and passionate food culture. To illustrate the Unsworth commitment to the emerging winelands, we start at a large block of virgin land north of the winery where they're about to plant an as yet unnamed vineyard. The new plantings will dramatically increase the amount of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay under vine across the region. We meet up with family member Chris Turek, whose parents founded the winery in 2009, and winemaker Dan Wright.
This new site is wonderful. It's about 10K north of our estate vineyards at Unsworth in Mill Bay, and we were very lucky to find a 60-acre piece that's beautiful slope, great soil. It's actually quite far inland from the ocean, so it'll be our furthest inland vineyard, meaning more heat summation, hopefully. This will be one of the warmer sites.
In the Cowichan, temperature is critical. Even though it's warmer than the rest of Canada year-round, it simply doesn't get the intense heat the Okanagan experiences. That means attention to detail when planting a new vineyard is paramount.
We want to plant our rows basically north-south. We're going to tweak them slightly, 10 degrees east of north, to just capture a little bit more even sunlight on east-west canopy and give the grapes a little bit more equal ripeness on both sides. The morning sun is cooler and the afternoon sun is warmer, so we'll spend a little bit more time on the east side and a little less on the west side.
Any conversation about a grape region's aspirations to make it onto the world wine stage always come down to the soil. So we asked Dan, what is it about the vineyard site that will enhance Unsworth's supply of high-quality fruit?
So one of the first things we did was we dug a lot of soil pits. We dug about 30 pits across the property. We learned about how this soil's from sort of decomposed shale. So we actually have a piece of shale here, a few pieces. You know, you can see this, see how crumbly it is?
Yeah.
And friable.
It's decomposing.
Yeah. The older stuff is actually on top. The rock's mineralizing and creating new soil. So it's sort of this silty loam at the top. And then as you go down, it gets into this clay layer. And then as you go deeper and deeper, it sort of becomes rock almost. The soil type, it's a marine sedimentary soil. So all this area between Cowichan to Nanaimo was underwater for quite a while. And so just marine sediments silting down, putting layers and layers.
So in the end, the decision to plant here was what then? Or what will it be?
Yeah, so in the end, it's going to be primarily Pinot Noir. It's going to be about 70% Pinot Noir, about 25 to 30% Chardonnay, and just a little bit of Gamay.
So if we came back to Unsworth 10 years from now, what sort of changes might we see here as things carry on?
I think a refinement of what we're already doing. Site specificity, matching variety to soil type, honing in on the way each vineyard is farmed. I mean, these things permeate the wine industry, especially with Pinot Noir, right? I mean, it's just a refinement. We're in the process of planting 50, 60 more acres of vines, using and utilizing the knowledge that we've gained over the past decade or so of farming wine. The new vineyard, which I think the first vintage will probably be 2025, 2026, you're already half a decade out from now. You know, it's a slow game. The wine industry moves at a glacial pace, and I think we're just going to be seeing the fruits of our labor, so to speak, from the new plantings that we're doing.
It's an ambitious expansion, yet only part of the explosion of interest in plantings that will take place across the Cowichan Valley over the next 20 years. Next up, we take a closer look at the refocused Unsworth Pinot Noir and Chardonnay program, preparing to make its mark on the future of Vancouver Island wines.